So it's the end of the world as we know it, and you want to barter and trade. Cash is king as long as there is still a kingdom, and after a long-term economic collapse, your cash won't be worth much for very long. Just like Germany after World War II, you couldn't buy a loaf of bread with a wheelbarrow full of cash. Look at Venezuela right now. A sandwich costs the equivalent of $150. Why? Because the money is worthless. So what can you do? Here are 10 ideas. Some you may know, some you may not have thought of. 10 ideas for things that you could use in place of currency in short and long-term grid down situations. Number one, shortly after the money runs out, people are going to resort back to gold and silver, either by way of coins or bars or jewelry. Gemstones, not so likely. I know I've seen on like post-apocalyptic shows people trading diamonds and things. Well, most people are not able to distinguish the difference between an authentic and a man-made or a fake gemstone. I don't think that's very likely. As far as bars are concerned, one I do like in particular is the breakaway system where bars can be broken down into individual grams. A lot of people are not very familiar with these, so I'm showing this to you now so that you can check it out for yourself. That way you can control how much gold or silver you are trading. However, this is not going to last very long either because you can't eat gold and silver. Moving on to number two, with the vice currencies, tobacco products. Cigarettes are going to be very, very difficult to find. Cigars are going to be difficult to find because people don't realize how much of this stuff is shipped daily, daily, daily. Supermarkets and convenience stores and gas stations are being replenished constantly of these products. When the trucks aren't moving anymore and the trains aren't moving anymore, you're not going to be able to find cigarettes. They're going to be valuable. That brings you to number three, another sin tax or vice currency item, alcohol. Alcohol is going to run out fairly quickly too. After everybody breaks into all the liquor stores and steals it, you're not going to find any alcohol. Now you can stockpile this, but that's kind of tough because it's heavy, it's bulky, it takes up a lot of space. There's a danger of flammability. So be careful stacking up your alcohol. You may want to just collect nips if you want to store one of these as a possible trading item. Number four, probably one of the best items on the list, medications. The one thing that Z Nation got right. Crazy post-apocalyptic zombie show, but they trade pills on this show like currency, and that makes sense. Just like everything else, when the trucks stop moving, you're not going to find medicines, even over-the-counter stuff. You'll be hard-pressed to turn up an aspirin. This stuff is going to be really valuable. You will be able to trade pills like currency. Number five, right alongside of that, ammunition. Bullets have a value, and this is proven in history. This is where the term shot glass comes from. Shot glass refers to the fact that back in the Old West, when you didn't have money, you could trade a bullet for a drink. Bullets have value. Ammunition has value. Always will. Number six, very long-term item here, seeds. People are going to need to get going again. If it's been 2, 3, 4 years and there is no established government because the grid fell that hard and society fell that hard, people are going to have to start over and they're going to need something to start with. Seeds are a really good answer. They're going to be very valuable. Viable seeds are going to be difficult to find. Number seven, and I'll lump this one together, coffee and tea. Coffee and tea products. Once again, when the trucks and the trains stop moving, when the ships stop coming in, you're not going to be able to get either of these. And this is a vice item that people drink every day. More so coffee than tea. But this is an item that's going to be very hard to find. Number eight, batteries. And I push on this in a couple of my other videos that people do not have rechargeable options or methods of making their own power, and that is a problem. Most people don't. Even people who are preppers, they have battery operated items. Those batteries are going to run out. Problem with this one is that this isn't something that can be stored for too long of a term. You can only keep batteries laying around for so long and they're going to go bad. However, in a post-apocalyptic society, batteries are not going to be easy to come by. Number 9, and this might be one you didn't think of, but once upon a time, these were the most valuable items on Earth. Spices and seasonings, including sugar. I'm putting sugar in with this one. Spices and seasonings, pepper, paprika, all-season salt. Salt! Sugar. You're not going to find these items. They're going to be gone. And they're not coming back. They're not coming in unless somebody has a garden where they're able to process this stuff on their own. Spices and seasonings and sugars and salts are not going to be easy to find. There was a time where pepper was worth its weight in gold, literally, not too long ago, within the last couple of 100 years. Sugar in the Old West could be as much as a week's pay for a pound. This stuff is proven in history to be extremely valuable because of its scarcity under normal conditions. We have an abundance because of international trade, because of massive industrial farms, but when all that stops, you're not going to find any of this stuff, and it's going to be valuable. I like this one in particular because right now it's relatively cheap to buy spices, and they store for a very long time. Number 10, fuel, gasoline, butane, kerosene, oil, propane. Where are you going to get it? You're not. This stuff is replenished constantly to gas stations and other outlets. I used to work in a gas station back in the 90s. It was a small place and it wasn't that busy. It wasn't on a busy street. They had a tanker truck every day for 4 pumps. These larger stations have tanker trucks coming quite often. This is something that is replenished globally on a daily basis. When those pipelines stop, when the ships stop coming in, when the plants stop processing and the trucks stop moving, fuel will be gone almost immediately. Think about a couple of years ago when they had that bad snowstorm on the East Coast and Craigslist had to be shut down. Why? Because people were offering to trade sex for gasoline on Craigslist and they had to put an end to it. That's how desperate people got that quick because they couldn't get gas. Within a week, you won't find gas anywhere. Again, this is a hard one to store, but it's something to think about. And number 11, because I love giving you a bonus, your own personal skills. What can you offer in a post-apocalyptic world that would be of value, that would make you the center of attention in a society that's completely gone to hell? I joke about this. People ask me who's going to be left after the apocalypse, and I say the Society for Creative Anachronisms. Who are they? They're the performers at medieval times. Those are the Society for Creative Anachronisms. I knew people like this when I lived in Boston. They are in character 24 hours a day. They make their own clothing. They make their own shoes. They build pits and they smelt and they melt down metal and do metalworks and blacksmithing. They really actually do this stuff. These people have skills that if we suddenly found ourselves living in a society that was like 1850 would be very valuable. What can you do? Do you have applicable medical skills? Can you hunt? And I mean full service hunting, being able to tan skins and make jerky and use every part of the animal. Can you brew beer? The guy who can brew beer is going to be the most popular guy in town. What skill do you have that would roll over if the clock was turned back 150 or 200 years? Just some things to think about. Maybe things are different for you. If you have some ideas, go ahead and post them in the comments section below. I'd love to see them. Other people would love to see them. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out our other videos, and hope to see you back again soon.